the form factor, the features you get, the USB-C, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the joysticks, the feel, the everything. It's solid mind here, and today we are looking at the Anbernic RG33XXH. Such a simple name, right? So the question is, should you buy this in 2024? It's a cheap handheld. $60 to $70. In pounds, that's like 55 to like 65 price point. So dirt cheap. This will most likely be an emulation device. Even if it has power, it probably will run on Android. It will not be on Windows. It's too low spec for Windows. But let's find out. Should you buy it? That's the question.
It's been around for many years at this point, and I almost feel like this handheld is a culmination of all the efforts they've made over those years. This company is known for having pretty solid hardware, but their software usually isn't that great. Well, it just so happens that this device has gotten...
What I will say is that based upon the controls, I don't like the placement of them. Most of the modern handhelds have the Joy-Cons a lot higher up. Having the D-pad above the Joy-Con isn't the best, but for the price you're paying, you can't complain really.
And a lot of software updates on the Anbernic side, but then also there are community software solutions as well that really elevate the experience.
No, look at that. I saw Sega. Let's go back.
Also, there
Game
are
Boy.
community software solutions as well that really elevate the experience too. And so I found this device to be a really good mix in many regards. If you just buy it and use the SD card that comes with it, it's going to come preloaded with a bunch of games, and honestly, the software isn't half bad. However, after you've been using it for a bit and you've kind of outgrown that initial experience, you can then upgrade the software to get an even better experience down the line. On top of that, because this device is so popular, I expect that the software is going to get better and better.
Yeah, that's good. You know what? For that price point, you can't really complain and say anything bad about it. Because there is a SD card slot, you can then, through emulation, add more games, and because this is a slightly newer model, you can then emulate older consoles like the PSP, like the DS. Obviously, you can't do like proper DS games because it's only got one screen, but still, I'm just saying, for the price point,
from the community as well. It's also got all the bells and whistles that I would want in a retro handheld, including Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, as well as HDMI out if you want to plug it into a TV or a monitor. On top of that, the performance of this chip is not half bad. It can play all the way up to PS1 fairly flawlessly, but then also it can play a good amount of Nintendo 64.
That's naughty. That's naughty in a nice way. Like, you can play Nintendo 64 games, PSP games. I thought that was the case, but okay, there are cheaper handheld devices that can emulate the same things, but this looks like the kind of form factor that is in line with, for example, the ROG Ally X, you know, or the Steam Deck, or all these new handhelds. I keep saying Ion Neo. Like, there are so many handhelds that have a similar aesthetic to this. So this is a good way to have the best of both worlds, and it has Bluetooth, and it has USB-C, and it has Wi-Fi. I'm trying to find areas where I can be like, it's not the best. Yes, it doesn't have Windows, but you don't need Windows. For the price point you're getting, I am not complaining.
Dreamcast, and even PlayStation Portable. Not only that, it's in a nice small form factor, which makes it easily pocketable as well. Now, of note, there are actually two different models that use this exact same chip, and so it'll have the same performance and software and everything else. They just have two different form factors. This other one is called the RG35XX Plus. It's got a more of a Game Boy kind of look to it.
Yep. So as I was gonna say, there are cheaper units that look like the Game Boy aesthetic. I am not a big fan of this. I am more of a fan of this type of layout. So this does make sense for me. the display looks better. They look about the same size display wise, but the Game Boy extended side of things, I like having actual Joy-Cons to control it. So I get the retro element, but this is where I'm leaning more towards, because it's what I guess it's similar to what is out there currently. That is, I guess, doing well.
This one is definitely more nostalgic, but between the two, I prefer the H model, the one that's horizontal, because it's a little bit more comfortable to use. Additionally, because the one on the left has analog sticks, that means it's going to work a little bit better for certain systems like arcade games and Nintendo 64. Either way, yes, that's my first pick when it comes to the Wii Baby category. If you're just getting started, I really recommend the RG35XXH. You can usually pick this one up for somewhere between $60 and $75, depending on where you shop. But if you shop around and look for sales, sometimes you can get
It's still a good handheld, I will say that, for that price
it
point.
even cheaper. Now, let's say that you're really into that Game Boy style form factor and you're eyeballing that RG35XX Plus on the right.
Alright, so let's finish this video. So should you guys buy this? That's a good question. I will say this, for the price point, should I do it? I'll do it. Let's find out together. Alright, let's do this together. Okay, let's have a look. If we go on Amazonia, what are you saying? Accept, decline. £85 for a brand new. This looks newer, actually. Like, this looks a lot newer and better and bigger and ooh, I'm thinking, okay, this looks gorgeous. £85 on the high end for a much newer version. That's cool. But in terms of the exact unit I've just reviewed, £46, £44, £60. So that's, I'm sorry, like, okay, 75. Okay, so you can find it for between like £50 to like £90, depending on the model, how new you want it, how used you want it. It's not too bad. So should you buy this? I'm inclined to say yes, because yes, you can buy a DS for the, you know, this on the high end is the same price as a 3DS. I get it, but the form factor, the features you get, the USB-C, the Bluetooth, the Wi-Fi, the joysticks, the feel, the everything. I'm trying to find a reason. If you had the money today and you told me in the comments, hey, Solid Mind, I want to buy this, I would struggle to say no, because you can emulate games. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.